Welcome, guys. We are back on episode 5 of the Unplugged podcast. And today we have an amazing guest, Cindy, who is the creator of Unfaced Strategy Course. I'm so excited, kind of fangirling because I've been watching her for almost a year. So I'm very excited for this. So welcome, Cindy.
Thank you so much, Amanda and Kristen. I'm so happy to be here, and hi to everyone who's listening as well. I cannot wait to what we can bring you about all. No, I cannot say too much. I'm gonna let Amanda talk.
Yeah, well, we're just so excited. We feel like the industry just needed a breath of fresh air, which enter USC, right? Because and I know that we have questions that we're going to be asking, but having someone that is struggling to create daily sales without feeling like they have to go and buy another huge, massive course that just teaches the same thing over and over again. And so I'm just super excited to bring you to our audience to showcase that there's other options and
Definitely.
strategies that work.
Yes. And it's not just the next best course. It's not just another course. And that is very important for people to know that there is so much more out there.
Yes, for sure.
I love that you said that.
Yeah. Yes.
Because the shiny objects are totally getting people right now.
Oh my God, I was having a full discussion with my husband about that yesterday, and I told him, do you know the shiny object syndrome? And he was like, what type of syndrome is that? And I was like, no, it's not a disease, but it's something that is going on inside of digital marketing.
Yes. Yeah.
It's real. It's real. It should be something like a terminal that is like really inside of a dictionary because it's something real.
It is. And you know what? We need to do a whole episode on that.
Well, next
Shiny object syndrome. It is so true. And I think that's what, for me, actually prevented me from getting your course for so long because I was like, I don't need another course. But it really isn't just another course.
You know what I always say when people say, I don't need another course? I say, well, good for you because USC is not another course. It's a business academy. So you're already forgiven. You can go and invest in it.
Yes. Yes. We forgive you for not doing that. Yes. Thank you for forgiving me.
But I'm happy you're in now because you're not regretting it, right?
Yeah. Now I regret not starting sooner, right?
Yeah, I agree. And it's so interesting because, and I'm not going to get off on a tangent, but I love that you offer the additional affiliate options for the smaller, lower ticket items. And that, in all honesty, that is what drew me to the course. So I'm excited when we dive into that section. I don't want to take away from, the flow of things, but that is really what attracted me was having the ultimate academy, right, to sell, but also being able to provide special nuggets for people in different ways to meet them where they are.
Yes.
Exactly, because every affiliate product is not like, oh, it's just about digital marketing. It can be mentoring, course creation. It just depends on what people need. So we're really tailored to giving and serving actually now digital marketers instead of just serving our target audience. Now we're serving digital marketers with what they need. And it's interesting that everyone inside of USC is actually joining for a different reason. There are people that are really needing in mentor training. There are people who really are struggling with lead generations. Other ones, their sales strategy is being set up. So everyone has their own reason. And it's not just like, oh, I got this course because it's hyped, for example. It's really to go and work on a specific problem inside of their business.
Yeah, I do love that your course is set up that way, that you can just go to a module that you're struggling with. And it's not like, you got to start with this one and go through all of it. You start with where your problem is and move along that way.
And be overwhelmed.
Yeah. And can we just say that there is no unwanted fluff module? Like, it's not like you're going to watch one and go, why did I just sit through that? Like,
yes. Everything is
there's a lot of those.
Yes.
And that's why people are like, Cindy, why you go to bed so late? And I'm like, because I do market research every single day just to make sure that what drops inside of USC is not the fluff. Like it's not about you spending 20 minutes listening to me and then being like rolling eyes and Cindy, what did you tell me?
Yeah, right.
You want to make sure that when you listen to me, because at a certain point you might be tired of all the videos, that you're each time like, okay, Cindy, I took notes. I'm going to implement it. And now I'm excited for the next module. That is actually
Yeah.
the goal inside of it. Yeah.
Yeah. I love that there's super short videos because those long videos that just talk about things that you don't actually need. I'm
We
like,
have a life. We have so much stuff to do. Like we cannot waste every single time and half an hour on a
yeah.
topic. It's coffee break modules, like we call
Yeah.
them.
Mhm.
Yeah. I love that. So,
Yeah.
what actually inspired you to create this course?
Oh well, we go back in the days now.
Uh-huh.
I'm 32, so it's not that we go back in the days like when I was 10 years old, but I've always been inside the social media world as an influencer, content creator. Like, we're not gonna go too much into detail about that, but at a certain time, we all know COVID hit and we all were stuck at home. What we were going to do? Well, my job was over. I was a full-time traveler. There was nothing to do for me
Oh,
anymore. So I sat
wow.
at home. But because I was always with social media, brands started contacting me like, Cindy, you've always done social media. I need help now because actually my business is only offline. So what are we going to do?
Hmm.
So with time, of course, I started helping them. And in 1 year, I helped 250 Belgian entrepreneurs switch from an offline business to an online business. And at
Wow.
that moment, with all the courses I was giving, the master classes, the guides I was sending them, I was like, wait a second, this is a business academy. So together with my friend back then, he did the marketing part, the sales part, and everything like that. And I was really focused on social media, branding, image, content creation. And we joined together and we did Business Academy. But at a certain point, we moved to the Dominican Republic. And we were like, well, it's not really combinable anymore with our lifestyle. So we're just going to close it. It was fun during COVID, right? Like
Yeah.
we were able to help people. And I was still doing social media, rolling into all these platforms, posting content. And at a certain moment, I saw digital marketing and I was like, wait a second, this is coming from the States because we were from Europe and we're always behind. We're at least 2 years behind. And I said, what is this? So I started looking into it and they said, oh, masterclasses and courses and guides. And I was like, wait a second. That's exactly what I have been doing for so many years. So I
Mhm.
just jumped into digital marketing and then I saw all these people struggling with sales. I said, okay, it's
Mhm.
all fun and good that you know what digital marketing is and what digital products are. But at the end of the day, you want to run a successful business. You're not here to buy a course and sell a course. Like we all know that sentence.
Mhm. Yeah.
And that is just not realistic. So I started seeing all these people struggle and then looking at what I still had from back home, if I can say it like that, from the previous business academy. And I was like, I'm just gonna pivot this and I'm gonna pivot it towards digital marketers. And it's not gonna be from offline to online, but it's gonna be from not making sales to making sales. And that's
Mm.
how I actually pivoted my previous business academy towards the new one, which is USC.
That's awesome. Wow. I had no idea that you had already been doing something like that. That's,
Yes, I'm always very honest to people. I don't want them to think that I'm just starting out since January 2024. I always tell them like I'm coming from a social media background. I'm
yeah.
coming from a business background, just for you to know, because sometimes we share wins and people are like, wow, you're making so many sales, or how are you bringing so much in per month? And I'm like, whoa, I'm coming from a different background. Allow yourself the
Right.
time as well to grow, to
Mhm.
do trial and error. I've done 15 years of trial and error. Like I've been through
Yeah.
that as well. And it's just very realistic that a business is not running 100% every single day. And I want always people to know that. But I always bring them back to earth as well when they see something big income claims or anything like that. And I'm like, look at the background first of these people
Mhm.
before you thinking that you just have to invest in a course and that is going to bring you the same results, because it's not.
Right.
Right.
Right. Yeah. That's so
Oh,
true.
that's a
So I'm
whole
always
different
saying that
other.
my background is clear, it's open, everyone can know it if they have questions. It's not that I'm gonna bring it out like, oh my God, I have so many years of experience in sales. That's not important, but I'm honest about it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I know this is off script, but since we're specifically talking about this, is that what inspired the module and the extra little mini course that you have that is about income claims?
Yes. I
Okay.
There is such a big misunderstanding that people need to flash their income in order to be successful. But when you look at all these bigger brands, I've already made a statement about it on threads too. Like all these bigger brands, they're not flashing their income in order to make sales. They're talking to their target audience. So once you know, even if you have made 1 million or you made $1, we're just gonna go for both ways, or you didn't even made your first sale, you cannot be successful in general if you do not know how to serve your audience. And that is actually where that mini course comes towards to. Like, if you don't know how to send out the messaging, it doesn't matter how much you're making or how much you want to make, because the base isn't set. And I want people to be realistic in, you can still make sales, but you do not have to post sales in order to make them.
Right. I actually had somebody the other day, because of the way that the industry, is, and how it's almost like we've normalized
Yes.
the income claims, even though we know that they're not right. I
Yes.
actually had someone, before they wanted to work with me, she specifically asked me, well, how much money have you made? Well, do you want to? I was taken back. I told Amanda, I was like, like, what is
You also
going
want to know how much I
on?
paid this morning. Do you want to know how much I paid for my insurance? Do you want to know how much I paid for my house? Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
it seems in a certain type of way, and people who already know me know that I'm very blunt but honest and respectful. But it almost looks like certain people inside of digital marketing feel entitled to ask certain type of questions,
Yes.
while in real life they will never do it.
Right.
Right. Like you don't go around asking somebody what's your
No.
salary.
And what does it matter? Let's be
Yeah.
honest. And I always tell that people too, like, no one knows how much I made in total with digital marketing. Yes, I have some wins to share. I have a plague from Stan, like, okay, but at the end of the day, no one knows exactly how it is, and it doesn't matter. It
Mhm.
really doesn't matter how much money you're making, because you do it for you. So if you cannot be your own biggest motivation, don't make someone else's income claim your motivation, because that's not gonna bring you where you want to be.
That's so true.
I think that's where a lot of the disappointment, people quitting, people saying that this is
100%.
right, when people start to say like it's a scam, it's this, it's because they bought into
The income.
that
Buy a
it was
course to sell a course.
easy, that it
Yeah.
was easy, right? There is really, it's so interesting. There's really no passive income. I mean, you still have to work at it.
Yes.
You
Exactly.
might be able to make it while you're sleeping, which I think that's where kind of like the passive
Yeah.
comes from. But you still put the work into
Yes.
be able to have the product, have it in your store, you're doing the market, you're talking to your people. That all takes work.
Mhm.
Exactly. You can make it passive, but do not expect it the first year or even maybe the first 2 years to make it passive, because you have to set up your systems. You have to go through modules, education, and everything like
Mhm.
that. And you can slowly start setting it up, but 100% passive will never be possible, because you have to update your store, update your email flows,
Mhm.
create something new. I don't know, like, there is so much going on in digital
Right.
marketing that if you can already make your business 50% passive, you can already be very proud of yourself, to be
Mhm.
honest.
Yep. Yeah, and I think that's where a lot of people get hung up is they want to make passive income, but and yes, like you were saying, Kristen, you'll make it while you're sleeping, but you put in hours of work to get that, to convert, and then finally they converted. So it is such a misconception so many times that there's no work involved, and I don't know where that came from.
It's the marketing.
Yeah.
Marketing tricks, the way people are trying to message it over the world to be like, oh, but this is the best thing you will invest in, because you will not have to put in work. But the first thing that you're already putting work to is opening this course and following it. That is work
Right.
too. It's not
Yep.
just you being sitting at a desk and making your website. The fact
Right.
that you're doing your own education is working.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Yes, so many misconceptions in this industry. Which leads me to our next question is what challenges did you face,
when
creating?
making when making the course, right?
Yeah.
Mhm. Well, it's mostly the mindset of people, like we just talked about, but they are so focused on thinking what is working instead of what is actually working. And the
Yeah.
biggest example I'm having every single day in my DMs, it's like, Cindy, you need to help me because I don't have enough followers. I'm not getting likes, I'm not getting comments. And I'm like, the only numbers you need to care about is your bank account.
Right.
Like, how
Yes.
many followers that you have, no one cares. The
Hmm.
amount of likes that you have on a reel, it doesn't matter either. I know a lot of people who are so focused on getting a viral reel of 1 million views or even 20,000. It's still kind of seen as viral,
Hmm.
but they were not making sales from that. So that is
Right.
the priority. So a challenge in trying to educate all of them, like in making those sales, is actually deconnecting what they were taught at a certain moment. Like, oh my God, you have to make viral reels and you need to make sure that you're being seen and getting so many followers, to switching them to the only thing you have to care about is how many sales you're making.
Yeah.
And that's a very big gap in between, because it depends on the mindset of the person as well. Like, how ready are they to let loose of that first thought? Like, we always hang up at our old behaviors and what our routines and what we're used to. Certain people are like, okay, that's fine, I will forget about it. But there are other people who always turn back in circles.
Yep.
And
Yeah.
it's my biggest challenge to be like repeating and saying, no, if you focus on the right numbers, it's gonna be good, but do not distract yourself on making that content that is not gonna bring you any sales.
Yeah, I agree. In fact, I had a video go semi-viral last summer and it had nothing but negative content comments. And it was emotionally draining. I made no sales, no followers, like, so it can go either way. And I was so excited. I was like, oh my gosh, look at all these views, but it literally didn't convert to sales.
And often as well, it doesn't bring you the right audience.
Right. Yeah. That's so true. So true about that.
And
I had one as well. And even though it's kind of, it was in my industry and it was geared towards, but I brought in just the wrong crowd.
Yeah.
And so I brought in I want everything for free crowd, which right, we need to have those leads. We need to have, right, they're shopping me, they're doing all that type of stuff. But it brought in the wrong crowd.
I'm very happy that you say that when it comes to the freebies, because I know it's one of the questions, but there's like a shift going on, in digital marketing. And we are at a very big, it's actually a very thin line right now, where if we're not going to be careful, we're going to go around in an audience that is expecting everything for free and everything very, very cheap.
Yes.
And people are starting to I'm not gonna say devaluate, because honestly, it's not their fault at all. But there is a habit going on. I'm gonna call it like that. There's a habit going on of people expecting everything always to be on sale, waiting for something to be on sale, or for when there is a new product to have it as cheap as possible, while actually not evaluating, I can say it, the knowledge of the person who created it.
Yeah.
And that is a very thin line that is happening nowadays inside of digital marketing. And I covered it, if you girls saw the new burnout modules inside of.
I loved that module.
You are not a digital marketing outlet. Like, you're not here to have one sale after the other one.
Right.
Oh, I haven't seen that one. I'll watch it tonight.
With the freebie stuff that you just mentioned.
Yep.
It is very exhausting if we're gonna go inside of that, because my knowledge, for example, is not worth $10. And if someone is giving mentorship, that hour of time that they're giving you is not worth $10 either.
Right. Yeah.
So people are gonna start to expect that.
So how do you, and I'm just thinking of the course where you talk about, I think it's a sales strategy where you mention that you should be offering a free link every day in your stories.
Yes, the sales through stories module.
Right. So how is that different from, like, expand, maybe, like, tell our audience, like, yes, you should be offering, right, a lead magnet, but how do you offer a lead magnet and not devalue, like, what you're saying? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, because there are also freebies that have too much information, for example.
Yes.
There are freebies. Okay. I'm just going to give an example so the audience can also follow. For example, we make a freebie that is about how to get started with digital marketing. You're going to explain what is digital marketing, what are digital products, niche IDs. You can even tell them, like, if you're dreaming about traveling, this is a very good option for you because ABC. You want to spend more time at home, fine, ABC are the reasons for you to do that. But you're not going to start talking about how do you set up a store? What are certain type of sales strategies? And at a certain moment, that's a boundary that you set between a freebie and you making an actual paid product with your knowledge about how to do digital marketing. And it's the same with your lead magnets in general. Every single time is like a lead magnet is for them, like, for example, a sneak peek of a course, to have a little bit of, let's say they get the flour and the flavor of the cake, but they don't get the cherry on top, and they will have to pay for the cherry on top. But as soon as you're giving too much, they will not invest in you because you're like, I already got my answer, thank you. But if I got my answer, I'm not going to pay you anymore.
Yeah.
So when you post in stories, it is like, hey, look, you can trust me. I have this lead magnet here for you. It's going to motivate you to go through something. It's going to give you that confirmation and affirmation that this product that you were thinking about getting is exactly what you need. But if you want to know what's inside, you just have to get the paid product. But every single day you show what you can offer and what you stand for and your authority, but you're not giving that little sherry that everyone wants, because then
Right.
you have it for free.
You're just
Perfect. I
dropping
love
little
that.
nuggets along.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm glad that you
Yeah.
expanded on that. Just that was perfect.
No, you can always ask me anything. No fluff.
So one question I want to go to as we're kind of on this, and we've been kind of talking about the trends and seeing people wanting everything for free. What do you see shaping the future of digital marketing? Like, where do you think this is going as this is becoming like more of a big thing online?
It's going to have that opposite effect where people are going to be tired of certain type of behaviors. So instead of them being louder, to say it like that, and it's also part of my branding, it's like they're gonna be scaling smarter. They're gonna think about, wait, I don't want to be part of that. I don't want to be, I know sometimes I said it in the beginning too, like some people are gonna laugh, some people are gonna be like, oh my God, Cindy said that. I sometimes feel like you're like on eBay or on a market and it's like, hey, I have this product for $5. Who wants it? Buy it now. Tomorrow it's not $5 anymore. It's gonna be $10. You know, that market where you're like buying fish or meat or vegetables, like it's thrown at your face every single day, like who is selling what and how. And I already see it little by little that people are tired of it. And they're thinking like, wait, I don't have to be louder. I don't have to shout what I have or what I'm doing. Let me just go towards scaling smarter, which is really focused on serving your audience, less products. And it's going to be a little bit like minimalizing. You know, when in fashion we had that too. At the beginning was all bold and colorful, and then we had that trend of minimalistic fashion. That's going to happen in digital marketing too. I cannot say because I'm not a trendsetter or like another trend analyst, but I feel that happening. Once something becomes too much, it always sizes down. It's always less is more. And I feel like that's going to happen too. And people are really going to start standing out because they're going to do authentic selling. They're going to really focus on that trust building, authenticity, and all of that. And like every kind of trend that is happening and like any type of business, those who really understand it will last. And those who were there for just quick bucks or just to see if it was fun, they automatically clean out. That's how it goes with any type of industry. Influencers the same, content creation the same. The industry will change, and those who are really serious about their business will upscale with the change.
Right.
But there will be a lot of people that are gonna realize like this is not for me.
Yeah, that's so true. I feel like I'm there. I feel like Kristen and I are at this point where we're like, how can we set ourselves apart? You know, like I don't want to deal with all the things and all the noise that are happening. It is too much. And I want to be my authentic self. I don't want to be the person posting income claims constantly every day or going from this course to this course and doing this and doing that. And I just want to be myself to serve them and actually help people. So I actually do see that because I know a lot of other people feel the same way.
I think it's really hard when I want someone to work with me because they want to work with me and they resonate with me, to be their mentor, not because I'm flashing. If you get this, you're going to get all this other stuff. Like,
selling the husband and selling the house.
I'm like, oh my gosh, like, not that I don't compete, like my only competition is myself, right? And when I don't show up or do something properly, it's because of, something that I didn't do. But sometimes I look around and all these groups that I'm in and just everywhere, and I'm like, oh my gosh, like
people almost sell their kids.
Yes. And I'm
like, but that is part, Amanda, of what I talked about because I know Kristen still has to go and see it in the burnout part, like the discounts topic that we're talking about. Like at a certain moment, you're training your audience to expect sales from you and to expect all this stuff for free. You're training your own audience. You cannot blame the industry. It's you jumping on that and kind of feeding that behavior. If you tell every single day to a kid like, oh yeah, you can jump on the couch, they're going to do it. And it's the same for audience. If you always keep bundling and one day you do not, they're going to reach out to you and they're going to ask you, oh, and you don't have a bundle for this product? Because that behavior, they're used to it.
Mhm.
So
It
at a certain,
also teaches everybody else to expect it.
of course,
So,
because they see it, it's copying.
Mhm. Yep. Yeah,
But
I loved it when you were talking in there about how you go to an online site and you see they have a sale, but you know they always have a sale, right? So, but you didn't place your order and you know it's okay because they're gonna have another sale, right? And it's so
yeah.
you
true.
know you're not missing out on anything because the
Yeah.
sale is coming up and you don't feel the urgency of buying it. Well, we
Yeah.
cannot say too much about the module, right? Because otherwise people will not feel the
Yes.
value of our side of
Right,
the
right.
module. But it's just like to explain, all right, if for example, you have, let's say, a new mug, like because I have my coffee mug here, and you love it, but you don't love it that much that you can wait for a sale. That means that first of all, you're not that interested buyer like you should be. But
Right.
secondly, if it's worth for you to actually lose the product because it's sold out on the website, you already know that you don't need it.
Right.
It's kind of training the wrong mindset behind it. Like only invest when you need something. Make sure that you don't train your people to do bundling like crazy, but also if you cannot sell first your own products full price, do not start making sales, do not start bundling or anything like that because turning back is impossible.
Right. You
We
have to
see
think of that.
courses every single day doing rebates, discounts, and everything like that because people are not paying for it anymore full price. And it's a
Right.
very dangerous funnel to put yourself in
Hmm.
because every single week you're doing a sale. I'm just saying it's not every single week, but it's just an example.
Right.
Every single week you're doing a sale, people
Hmm.
will just wait and they will never come in again at full price. And it's
Right.
over. You cannot turn it around.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Reminded me of all the ladies that do TikTok shop, like,
Well, we don't have
oh
it.
my gosh, it's
So
finally back in stock. I cannot believe, but don't sell it out. That's what
I've
it
never
reminded
seen
me
it
of.
because we don't have it. Like in Belgium, we don't have TikTok shop, for example. Maybe,
Oh,
but in the meantime, I moved, so I never
We're
saw
not
it.
missing
But
anything.
I can just imagine like it was probably a little bit like the TV back in the days where they were selling these massage things and kitchen stuff and everything
yes,
like that.
QVC. Yes,
Oh,
it's
yes.
exactly little mini commercials of QVC. That's exactly what it is.
I can imagine what it is. Yeah.
It's TikTok is a whole different, like, but we don't have to go down that route.
No,
It's
but it's funny because my bestseller, The Silent Buyer Theory, is
uh-huh.
coming from TikTok. I'm always
Really?
surprised when I see the sales coming in from The Silent Buyer Theory. There is
Yeah.
such a high percentage coming from TikTok.
Wow, that's
Oh, yeah.
crazy.
And I
Um,
did not expect that I would be like The Silent Buyer Theory on TikTok.
Yeah.
you know what? I started on TikTok though. I do actually really love that platform, but I've kind of moved away from it. But I really need to go back to it. I didn't want to then focus as I knew it might go away, and I didn't know if it was
Yeah.
actually going to come back. So, but it's a good
A
platform.
podcast way, like you're doing now, would be a very good tactic for TikTok. But if it's just like making videos and posting them, the return on
Yeah.
investment will be too low.
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
And when I did network marketing, I was successful on TikTok.
Yeah, I would go live 1 to 2 hours a day in the summer,
Oh my God,
every
every
single
day?
day, and every time I'd make a sale, but it was exhausting.
Yep.
You
Definitely.
know,
Like live streams, master classes, recording modules. After that, you can just put me in a couch and I cannot live for the rest of the day. Like it's over.
yes.
People don't see that.
Yeah, you have like a headache and you're like, because you're kind of like on edge, you know. So I would get off of my TikTok lives and I would have really bad headaches and my eyes would hurt. So yeah, I kind of moved away from that. But
Yeah.
but
But you're
anyway,
still here. That's the most
yes,
important.
yes, I had a pivot, and that is so important. Um, let me see here. So, what are some of the biggest mistakes you see people making in digital marketing right now?
It's a little bit related towards what we talked about the numbers, for example. Like that is the biggest mistake I can say I see it now, which is people not being focused on the right thing.
Yeah,
That's the first part. Like people want followers, but you should be focused on getting buyers. When you run a
yes.
business, you're
Mhm.
not an influencer. That's always what I say. It's also a very thin line between you sharing too much about your personal life and trying to get people feel related to you, but then you become an influencer, so they follow you because they like you, but people don't buy from you because they like you, because they see
Right.
something they need. So at the end of the day, you always have to remember that you're a business account, that you're
Mhm.
starting with digital marketing. So don't focus on your followers.
We call
Focus
that
on
the friend zone.
Yes.
Kind of, yeah.
The friend zone, like you don't want to be in the friend zone.
We just had Valentine's Day, so we can say that. Yeah, you don't want to be in the friend zone.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
because what
definitely feel like
happens?
I was
Listen,
there.
it's like, oh, I have this product too, and another digital marketer has it too, and they're gonna buy from that other digital marketer because they see you as a friend. And then it's like that disappointment of, oh my God, I've been talking to this person for so long and they didn't buy from me. Why didn't
Mhm.
they buy from me? And they kind of feel offended because
Yeah.
it's that way. But you kind of created an other type of relationship.
Yeah, that's
So
definitely
true.
happened to me when I first started out. And
Oh,
I
yeah.
think I talked to you a long time ago about it. Was the
We have been in
concern was that
contact for
I feel
such a
like
long
I've been
time,
friend
but
zoned. I'm like,
we're not in that type of friend zone, but we get along very well, and we like each other, we understand each other, but it's not like those chit chats where it's like about wine and cheese and how is the husband going, how are you dating or anything like that. And once you're at that point where it becomes too personal, people don't see you as that authority anymore.
right.
So
Yeah.
they're just like, oh, unconsciously, they just look for someone else that gives that. And it's not that they don't like you or they don't appreciate you. It's just that business relationship is gone.
Yeah. That's a good point to make.
I have a question that's not on here, but I know that
See?
you'll do a really good job at it. One of the things I really liked was you discussed how to repurpose your content to different platforms. Like
Yes.
Facebook is different, Instagram is different, and Threads. Will you just kind of touch on that?
What exactly, which part? Because it's a module, so I have to be careful about what
Yeah.
are we sharing. So maybe
Yes.
just ask a specific question.
Yeah. So just you cannot maybe just a yes or no question.
All
You
right, all right,
cannot,
let's do it.
yeah. Is it true or false that
I
you
love that. I feel
can,
like we're in high school.
yeah, that you can market the same on all the platforms?
False.
Okay.
Yeah, you cannot market the same on each platform. And I can answer that. It's because just simply, first of all, not each platform has the same target audience.
Mhm.
And each platform has their own purpose. We all know, for example, TikTok has videos, 100%.
Mhm.
You're not gonna you cannot even write a blog post on
Right.
TikTok, for example.
Right.
But then when you are on Facebook and when you think about it, you also spend more time on Facebook than just quickly opening Instagram, answering DMs, and you're gone again. So that means that the concentration span of people on Facebook is way longer, which means what you're gonna give them is also way longer in
Okay.
Mhm.
in content, in information, in value and stuff like that. So you have to adapt it. People who just do automatic resending, like stories, it's fine. A story is a story. But I mean, a Facebook post doesn't have the same structure as an Instagram post. And that's why, okay, you have to make sure that you're not burned out from creating content, but you can start with that evergreen piece and just repurpose it. And then you do it the correct way in the strategy.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Okay. Awesome.
Yeah. That's good. So, what is next for you in the course? Are you updating it? I know we've had some new modules that have been amazing.
Well, there is a new one dropping today. I
Oh,
have
I'm so excited.
more this week. So I recorded actually. I'm gonna take a break because my family is coming visiting me in the Dominican Republic, but it doesn't mean I take a break from creating them, just recording. So I did a little extra effort this weekend. I recorded 3 more just to make sure that the week is completely full. And then there is a new restructuring of the classroom because
Oh,
what is happening is that a lot of people are like, oh, Cindy, but you cover the same modules as other courses. And it's just simply because the keyword mindset is mindset, the keyword branding is branding, keyword sales is sales. You know what I mean? Like I
right. But
cannot
everything is different
invent a
inside.
whole dictionary to make people understand that USC is different. So I'm going to reorganize the whole classroom to really go focus on certain type of pain points digital marketers have, like you already saw, like the science of selling, focused on more passive sales. I'm gonna rechange that. I have a collaboration with Spanish. I can speak Spanish, but it's just like, the amount of time that goes into recording. So I
Right.
have someone I trust completely in recording my modules in Spanish. So that's a very important one too, because they have all the beginner courses, but they actually do not have specific sales courses. So that is coming up too. Yesterday, I was showering and I came up with a new idea for a guide. So you
Oh,
can
I
all
love
the new guide as well.
that.
You know
Yeah.
those moments that you're just in your mindset and you're like, oh, and then ping, an idea is coming. So
Yes.
there are gonna be more products. Yep. And what else? I think if we can already achieve that in 2025, it's going to be very successful. And maybe just in general, the messaging that is coming up for USC, the most important part is that we're here to see you win, and that is always going to be my focus, community over anything, and just
Yeah.
seeing other digital marketers win, because I always feel not kind of bad, but it's just very sad how many people start this business and then feel like they cannot achieve it. While digital marketing is not hard, it's not difficult, but you need to know how to do it and how to run that business.
Right.
So for USC coming work-wise, the new modules, the new guide and everything like that, but also, let's say, working on that mission of people understanding that you can do it.
Mm-hmm.
Love
Yeah.
that.
I love it. That's so exciting. So, what's one final piece of advice you'd give to somebody that's starting in digital marketing and why they need USC to go along with whatever they start with?
There's a lot of advice I can give. Just keep making modules. But maybe let's say there is a top 3 I always focus on. So don't forget that you speak to an audience that needs to be ready to buy. That very thin line that we said, like, you're not here to get followers, you're here to run a successful business. So my advice is always, whatever you send out into the world in type of messaging, so that's your content, emails, stories, a thread, Facebook post, just anything, always remember that you're talking in a business position
Mm-hmm.
and not as that best friend, because
Yeah.
you just don't want followers or likes. You actually want to make it converting towards seeing
Yeah.
results in your business.
Transactional. Yeah.
Another tip I can give is to say, for example, work on transformations. People are not here to go and spend money just because their credit card is open. You know what I mean? Like, there is so much triggering us every single day, whether it's in the supermarket or we see an ad online about a travel that we can do. Like, there is so much, but when you focus on transformation, people will see more value in what you're offering already, so they stop. That's the most important thing. And then, let's say, be yourself. I think that's a very important one, because comparing, it happens every single day, and it's like,
Oh,
oh, if
yeah.
this person is doing A, let me
Mm-hmm.
do A plus. Or if they are doing a certain type of statement, I can make that statement too, so it brings attention to me. But you don't want actually to be just like anyone else. You want
Right.
to stand out, and you're perfectly fine yourself the way you are. And some people are more blunt, some people are more about fluff. Like, it's okay, some people need more explanation before they come to the point.
Mm-hmm.
But for example, I'm very straightforward and I don't see anyone having a problem with it up until now. But it's just like, if you can be yourself, it will also give you every single day that energy to show up again, to not feel like you're trying to be something else or trying to get results that don't feel aligned with you. Because the
Yeah.
first thing that you're not aligned with, forget about it.
Yep.
It's a
Mm-hmm.
whole thing about forget about it. And maybe a very tricky one to say, but you do not need all the products that are coming on the market.
You don't. And it's funny you say, my first program I did not align with at all. And I tried to be something I was not.
And
And
it's gonna happen.
as soon as I got
Invest.
rid of that, pivoted, everything changed. You have to realize that you can't model to be like somebody else when you're not that person. And it comes off that way to other people. And they know you're not being
Yeah.
authentic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you will still keep investing in things that you thought that would help you. Like,
Yes.
it's not because I have my own course that I stop investing, but my goal is so clear that I know that you can already filter it out. When your brand's message is clear and your purpose is clear as a business, you already clean out immediately what you need and what you don't. But
Right.
then still, sometimes you don't know what's inside, or
Yeah.
they market it in a certain way. I bought a course last week and I opened it, and in 2 minutes I closed it, and I said, well, that's not gonna happen this time. Like, it wasn't my gig. I just didn't feel the connection as soon as I opened it. And I was like,
Yeah.
it's okay. It's part of market
Yeah.
research. You
Yeah,
cannot
it
know
is.
what is there. But the thing, what maybe I can add this, because I think it's a very good advice for certain type of people. When you invest in everything, it's just not possible, because think about it, in a supermarket, there are so many type of orange juices, bread, and everything like that. It's because there's so many different types of targets, audiences too. It's not
Yeah.
you have people gluten-free, sugar-free, allergens, and it's the same with digital products. There is a market for every product, but not every product is your market.
I love
And
that.
when you invest in everything, first of all, you lose credibility.
Mm-hmm.
People are seeing you as that marketplace, that outlet that is just like throwing around courses. But the most important part is you're confusing yourself. because you're getting all these different type of educations thrown at you that at the end of the day, you're like, who am I listening to? What am I going to do? Am I doing today this strategy and tomorrow the other strategy? And then you're like wondering why there are no results, because you're not even consistent in your own work because you invested in too much. So it's not only the part outside of your own business, which are your clients, but it's also confusing your own business. And then you just get a full mix of everything and nothing.
Yeah.
I mean, don't you think that that would confuse one's audience? Have you really like gone through the course,
Also,
or are you just buying, putting in your store and selling it because you know somebody will buy it?
but you can look through it. You can look through immediately when people
Yes.
just buy to resell it. If you read the sentence, oh, but this strategy is working so well, and you can see it, and the product was just launched 2 hours ago,
Oh,
there
yeah.
is no way. A strategy is not implemented in 1 hour, 1 day, 1 week, or 1 month. A strategy is long term. So
Mm-hmm.
I
as
do
soon
agree
as
with that.
someone is saying, oh, this strategy is working and I love it, I bought it yesterday, then you know that it didn't went through it, because a strategy implementation, and every business owner knows that a
Yeah.
strategy implementation takes months. And it
Mm-hmm.
doesn't mean you cannot see results before that month.
Right.
You will. But to say that it is working, yes or no, it takes time. So
Yeah.
that's the first
Because
thing when you know if someone is just reselling it. We can call it like that, reselling.
Yeah.
mm-hmm. Yeah, we see a lot of that.
Yeah.
Exactly.
We have lots of that
And
that
I'm
we talk
looking at it
about.
and I'm like, oh my God, there we go again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my
Oh,
goodness.
But they're good products, but sometimes you have to swim through them until one is, and you cannot, maybe you're not spending for 5 months. It can happen that you don't see anything that triggers you. And the 6 months, you're going to be like, wow, finally, something that I needed. And you can still open it and not be what you expected. And that's
Yeah.
going to happen. But
Oh yeah.
yeah.
that's the risk of it.
Yeah. Yeah. I
But
just did
spend
that.
6 months spending.
Yeah. Yeah. Yes. Oh my goodness. Well, we
Yeah.
have had an amazing time learning all this stuff from you, Cindy. And
Thank
I'm
you so much.
so grateful that you were able to come on the podcast and share everything with us.
No,
And
I need to thank you because you thought of me.
yes, and if you,
Yes.
yes, and
Well,
if
we were
you,
instantly, we were thinking like, who should we have? And of course, we were like, Cindy needs to come on. But we're
yes,
just honored that you would come and share. And if you're listening and you are feeling stuck or you are looking for a strategy, we 100% stand behind USC and, you know, would love to see how it can scale your business.
Yeah,
yes,
because it is. It was in the
absolutely,
way that it works for you, and that's the most important thing.
yes,
The way
yes.
it works for them.
Yeah, definitely there. And I want to just reiterate again that this is not another digital marketing course. Like this is all strategies. And although, like you said, some of the modules you'll see if you look in the sneak peek, right? Like some
But
of the
what's
modules might
inside is not the
look
same.
this, yeah, the what is inside the information, the way it's taught is absolutely completely different. So
Maybe if I can add on that, just very clear for the
yeah,
audience, like USC is not a digital marketing course, and we don't call it like that because we don't focus on teaching you digital marketing. As
right.
easy as that. We're not talking about what are digital products, how to set up your funnels, how to set up your store. Everything we cover is for digital marketers who
Mm-hmm.
actually want to that upscaling part, like you mentioned, whether it is struggling with their store, struggling with those sales, struggling with copywriting, sending the email. So depending on the struggle that they have, they find it in USC. And
Right.
because we done with you and not done for you modules, which means done for you is like, oh, we created modules, here they are, enjoy it, watch it, and we see each other in X time. Done with you approach is like, okay, you have questions, very good. Let me go over it. I will already answer them in the community. But if more people have it, I will create a module from that.
Right. Yeah.
And that is done with you approach. And that is the biggest difference between a digital marketing course or you investing in a tool for your business
Mm-hmm.
that is
Mhm.
focused on helping you with that type of struggle.
Yep.
And that is USC. Yeah.
Yeah, I love it. And I'm loving all the new modules. I know I was listening to some
Can I
more.
ask you a question? Like I'm now gonna interview both of you. Amanda, what is your favorite module?
So far, my favorite module is the burnout module. And when you talk about the stories, selling in your stories, and I'm not even going to give it away because you give some really great tips about how to get yourself set up for the entire week. I love that you give homework and like actually give you steps on what to do to actually reach your goals over the long term.
Funny that you say that because people think like, oh yeah, sales and stories. I know what to do. I need to do a reset, and then I start posting again. I'm like, phew, you should see this. You should see the strategy inside of USC or
Yeah.
oh, in the M's. I know I have to sell in the M's, and then actually the strategy inside of USC is giving you everything but selling in the M's. Like that's why it's completely the opposite of what people were thinking that they should do, and we
Right.
teach them the right way. And
Yes.
it's
Yeah.
oh, Kristen, tell me your favorite module.
So I actually have two, which I've watched the income claim one,
Oh, that's a
like
good
all
one
of
too.
those probably 3 times all the way through. Just because that's kind of like I look around and I'm like, ugh. And so I'm just trying to figure out how I can position myself as someone that is making quality income, but not by saying it. And I love how you give
Yeah.
examples, say this, not say that, that type of
Yeah.
stuff. And then the other one that I did ask you about was I used to think that what I could do on Instagram could work on the other
Oh, the
platform.
repurposing content. Yeah.
And so I really I enjoyed that. That's
Switched
probably,
around. Yeah.
yep. Because I
You
used to
see,
like,
everyone has different modules that they love because it's working on a different part. So it's really
Hmm.
nice. And Amanda, fun fact, I was so stressed about launching the burnout module because everyone feels burned out, right? But
Yes.
no one is talking about it. That's the
Yeah.
thing. No one is bringing it up. Like burnout comes from both you as your audience. So
Mhm.
I was so stressed to be like, oh my God, I'm gonna tackle that and it's gonna be good, but it's gonna be eyes opening and some gonna
Yeah.
love it and some gonna be like, ooh, did you really do that?
I love it. I love it. I feel like everyone can resonate with that
Yeah.
and really learn how to come out of it, right? Have a strategy. Like, yes, we're talking about burnout, but how do we fix it so we're not going to continue to feel that way?
mm,
Yeah.
guess what I'll be doing today?
Listening to
You'll
that
be watching the
model.
burnout module.
Yes.
I will
And
have a
Amanda, I'm gonna drop a new one so you can already watch a new one.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm so excited. I love listening to it. And I'll listen to it while I'm cooking or my walks and stuff.
Like
And
a podcast.
yes, like a podcast. I do. I listen to it while I'm out on my walks and stuff. I always get mad because my husband will come in if I'm like cooking or something and I've got my AirPods in. I'm listening to you and I'm like, now I got to go pause it. Now I got to go rewind it and figure it
yeah.
out because he was talking
I'm
over it.
listening to Sydney. Come
Yes,
on.
yes.
I was listening to it while I was getting my nails done the other day.
Oh,
I
yes.
think
Yeah.
I listened to was there Clarity? I can't remember the name of it. Um anyways, I listened to it the other day. Instead of watching the HGTV, I put but the hard part was when, when she was taking off and
Yeah.
I couldn't touch anything. I was like,
Oh, I'm trying to get to the next module.
yes.
That's so funny because there are husbands listening sometimes with the members and stuff, and then the husband is like, "Oh my God, I loved it," and then the members are saying it like, "My husband was listening with me, and he loved this part," and I'm like, "Oh my God, we're all becoming this family where
Yes.
everyone is listening to advice, and it's so fun." And I had once a member, and she did a master class, and her husband is also he's not in digital marketing, but he's like in the sales part, and
Mhm.
apparently he made a whole summary like of what I was saying to bring to his boss the next day. And I was like,
Wow.
that's crazy. So he's listening with you for digital marketing to some type of masterclass. And now he made notes. He asked you to go over it for tomorrow for his job.
That's
Oh
awesome.
my
Yeah.
gosh, that's
I did like the
amazing.
science of selling that you dropped. That's what
Oh,
I listened to. I listened to that whole module while I was getting my nails done.
Well, this is a new style of USC. So everything we're doing right now is really like I worked it out in January. As you know, like we did a little pivoting too to really be like in the coffee break moments, quick absorbable information to not overwhelm you, but to take action right after a module. So I'm
yeah.
very happy that you say that I know you like it because it's important information for me because that's how it's going to continue.
Yeah,
Yay.
I think
So
it's great.
excited.
I love it all. I love that it's all bite size and like we talked about, no fluff. You give us actual tips and
I don't
strategies.
have time for that. I'm gonna be very honest. We have a business to run. There is no time for fluff.
No, there is not.
There's other courses that have fluff. If they want, then they can go and
And you
have
know that works
stuff.
for certain type of people. I know
Yeah.
that my approach will not work for everyone either. If someone doesn't like the direct approach to be like, okay, this is what you have to do right now if you want to see results. Some people love it in a more longer way. That's fine
Right.
too. That's the same thing. Like not every product is for everyone, but just USC is very actionable. It's
Yeah.
action reaction. Stop
Yep.
struggling, stop thinking, stop overthinking.
Yeah, stop overthinking.
Just go for it.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
I heard something on, and I know we're wrapping up, but I heard something the other day on Instagram, and to me, it really resonated and kind of brought it all home. It was a big creator that I watch, and she said that the industry has lied to us is basically what she
Okay.
said. And she said the reason why is because and she was like, I fell into this because this is exactly what I used to say, that everyone can do digital marketing. And then she went in to explain the reason why she thinks that we've been lied to is because we tell people that there's no work to it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that work part. I agree that digital marketing is for everything, but for everyone, sorry, but it doesn't mean you all have to go and resell courses. I have people who have their own, how do you call it, like kind of bakery dessert type of business. And then I will help them and say like, okay, this is what you can do with digital marketing for your bakery industry. You are a fitness coach, fine. This is how you can use digital marketing. But digital marketing is not reselling courses. Digital marketing is a term of doing your online marketing
Right.
of
Right.
products. But there's so many industries. So yes, everyone can do it if they want to, but it's not like you said, it's not passive.
Right.
Yeah.
There's work.
You want passive income, buy a home, rent it out, and see every month your how do you call it? That money coming in, that what you
Right.
collect from
Yeah.
those
From your
who are
rent and stuff.
renting
Yeah.
it. Yeah, exactly. That is passive because you're not in that home working or anything like that, but you have a business to run with digital
Yeah.
marketing.
Yeah. Yeah. That's so
I'm not saying it's the craziest work where you have to go and lift certain type of things, but it's very brain consuming.
Yep.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't want to put that work in though. So at the same time, like I do think that not everybody is cut out for it, although they can do it.
If
Right.
you don't want to put work in it, don't become a business owner. As
Yeah.
easy as that, because you're your own responsibility. If
Yeah.
you stay in bed a little bit too long, that's your own responsibility for
Yeah.
not getting up and doing your job, and not no one else is gonna do it because you're the business owner.
Right.
So just in general, if you're not ready to take the responsibility and to show up every single day and be consistent, and that doesn't mean posting every single day, but just being consistent in what you do for your business, then just don't start. That's the first thing. If you
Yeah.
think it's gonna come falling out of the sky,
Yes.
digital marketing is not for you.
Yeah.
And being a
Yes.
business owner either, because
Yeah.
when you're sick as well, and it's a mindset too, but once you're sick, it's the worst time because you're like, oh my God, I really don't feel it. But if I don't show up today, even if I'm sick, there are bills that have to be paid. And it's a different type of pressure you have to deal
Yeah.
with. It's a good one. I'm so thankful I'm my own
Yeah.
business owner. Like I love what I'm doing, but
Mhm.
it comes with these challenges. And if you're not ready for that,
Yeah.
don't do it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love that.
I love that too. I was sick on the couch Sunday, like so sick, but I was still doing some work. I almost did. I almost had a call, but I said, I'm going to cancel it. But I was still working and still showing up and doing some things. And you know what? I still had sales coming in Sunday, sick on the couch because I was still showing up.
That's very
and
good.
doing
And even if
things.
it's thinking about a new idea or anything
Yeah.
like that, it's still showing up for your business.
Yep.
But just shutting down everything,
Yeah.
tricky one.
Yeah. Yes. Oh, goodness. Well, Cindy, we are so thankful you came on. This has been
Thank you. I hope the listeners had a great time, like the no fluff episode.
yes. And we will see you guys next time.